Jessica!
No, I'm a star! Please, I'm a star!
Hi, you all. Welcome in. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mark. Hi, Star. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Ronnie. Welcome in. Thanks for getting your check-ins, everyone. Or actually, no one's gotten their check-ins except for Star. Oh, and Mark. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Ew, I did. No, you're right. You're right. You did. You did. You did. You did literally, as I was saying it, you literally redeemed it. So then I had to take it back. Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? Thanks for all the shouties. We're always just gonna Ryan, I just need you to help me, like, give me a tutorial on how to use Mix It Up. We're gonna play some Fortnite today. Um, I think it's gonna be a little fun. I think Ryan's gonna join. Let me know when you're free and I can show you what I do. Oh, yes. I need all the tutorials. All of the tutorials. Fortnite. Wait, Star, do you want to play Fortnite with us? It's Monday, so go level up those sprites. Wait, is it like extra bonus sprite level ups on Mondays? I know nothing about Fortnite, guys. Like, not anymore. I know how to play, you know? But I know nothing about what's going on in Fortnite right now. Hi, Ash. Welcome in. I would love to. Star, come play with me and Ryan. I think I'm gonna hop in my VC soon. Cushion. I'm just finishing dinner. Yeah, yeah. Chill, chill, chill. No rush at all. Just know there's a spot. You know what I mean? 27 rewards to claim. How do I do that? I don't even have. Oh, I was like, I don't I have this? Like, I literally used whatever V-Bucks left over I had to get the pass, so I can get the little duck. I'm just here. I can do this while I. Here, you guys can watch me claim all this stuff that I haven't claimed. Hello for the first time. Let me know when you're ready, because I am on Fortiniana Grande right now. Every Monday is double up the speed on maxing out those babies. Oh, what? I'm so excited. I played for a little Fortnite maybe 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. I'm just gonna claim everything I can, I guess, right? Look at that. She's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I didn't mean to equip that. And I think we can get two of the ducks. We didn't get the duck quite yet. Hello as well for the first time today. Ash, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Okay, it's Monday. What a Monday it has been. Guys, let me tell you. We had flash flooding today. It was crazy. I sent Ryan the video I sent my boss today to show the flooding that was happening today, and that was crazy. Crazy. I sent it to Mark too. The same video. Just stepping in puddles. I'm getting ready to hop on, period. Alright, great. Because I just claimed all my stuff. Let's get La Rosa here. Have we played together before, Star? I can't remember. Maybe? And let me hop in my VC. We have, not me. Not. We have not, but me and Rosa have, so I can join that way and you can add me from there. Oh, so y'all are playing without me. I'm just kidding. Hi, Ryan. Welcome in. Thanks for getting your check-in. How are you doing? Oh, Dead by Daylight. Wait, do I follow you? Let's be so serious. I do. I don't. Fake fan. I'm a fake fan. My bad. All followed. All fixed. Not us twinning. Oh, she is the baddie. Wait, is that in this path? Is that in this pass? No, she's not in this pass. Wait, she's a... Wait, who... How did you get her? Who is she? Wait, these chess pieces are kind of cute. Please not. Fake. I haven't streamed in months. Oh, okay. So sleepy TBH? Yeah, it's Monday. Monday blues. It was raining so bad today. Work was very tough, but we made it through. We made it through work, which was... I think that's important. Ryan, how was work today for you? How was your day? Did you work today? Um, it was definitely a day. This guy is so cute. See, I'm all about the little creatures. Like, I don't need a cat. I don't need a dog. Oh my God. This is such an adorable dog. But this guy, this is what I want. I want a little creature, a little character. The creature. How did you get that, skin, Ryan? You have to tell me. Tell me your secrets. Was she in a pass? My power kept fading in and out. No way. Unfortunately, and I set up a lot of presentations for the week. Okay, do you have a lot to do? You have a lot to do today. Or this week, then. I'm so sad I don't have that fit. I'm obsessed with this character, this avatar. This character. I'm gonna put on the new one that I just got. You feel like oh, it's L2. L2. I want to wear her. She comes with purple. I mean, hello. That's kind of cool. What about this one? Oh my goodness. What? That guy's so cute. I believe she was an old pass. That's why I got it. Oh, I'm sad. I'm sad. This is sick. Check the editable form of her and see if you have her. The editable form. Editable? I don't think I had that pass. I must not have had that pass. I can't even tell you that she was in a pass. Like, that's not her. This is not her. I don't think I have her at all. Damn, that sucks. Oh, let me mute myself on in game. Yeah, let's play as this new character. I guess gold. And shoes. Get the shoes. Get the shoes. Oh, I got new shoes somehow. Oh, they're her shoes. Well, look at us all together. One sec, I'm refilling and we'll jump in VC. Okay, great. Sounds good. Guys, let's go. Oh, we're doing white fits. So I'm just missing the whole mark completely. Who do I be? Who do I be?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
It's good now that I'm off work.
No, period. Felt.
Hi.
Hi, Star. How you doing, Fran?
Good. How are you?
So good. Better now. All right, this is still not the vibe, guys. I'm not passing the vibe check.
No, the vibe is fine. The vibe is fine. Trust, just trust.
You ready to carry me, friends? I'm carried. Guys, I'm so light, I promise.
Carrie is crazy. You're gonna do amazing, and honestly, you'll be carrying me. So there we go.
Well, it sounds like you guys play without me, so I'm just...
Wow.
Y'all have a lot more practice.
That's crazy.
I actually really enjoy the sprites. I think they're a lot of fun. I think they're kind of scary.
Scary.
Well, extracting them is scary. Also, I think just playing on console, I don't know how to get it off my back. Like playing
It's
on
kind of hard to explain.
on controller, I'm like, I feel like I have to press the sequence of buttons for me to get it to remove it completely from my back.
You're on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I know how to do it on the Xbox, just not on
Oh, okay.
PlayStation. Where do we want to go?
I don't know. Ryan, when we were playing the other day, where did we go? Up here? We did all
Do not.
this.
Oh yeah, Latte Landing. Yeah, I think that was it. Or Lifty Lodge. We could go either way. Oh, okay. Let me jump.
I'm
cool
just gonna
going
go
there.
to the blue mark. Guys, I haven't played Fortnite in so long. I used to play Reload so much because I just thought the big map was so boring and like what they were doing was not fun. And then I just stopped playing. I just stopped playing altogether. I forget what the last season of like I guess I played a little bit of The Simpsons, but even before that I kind of just stopped playing.
Wow.
Like this like battle royale. Like I would play only Reload for like a few months. Like I think that was it. That was like the beginning of the end for me. Was like, oh, I guess I'm just playing Reload.
Oh, we gotta be careful. Looks like a team is
I see,
landing.
yeah, little blue dragon.
I think they're landing by me. Yep.
Oh, hold on. Are there any weapons
okay.
over here? Ooh.
I have a shotgun.
I got one.
Oh, a snowboard. Hello, can I ride it? Can't ride it.
Hold on, give me a sec.
I got two
Here,
bullets.
I'm honestly not over there. My bad.
Oh, you're good. We got it.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Hell yeah. Okay. We are on our way to you.
Smoke cloud.
Yes.
Also, if I just pushed you back, I'm so sorry.
No. You're totally fine. I picked up the extra shield potion to like drink that real quick.
Okay, perfect.
It sounds like you guys got it under control.
You know, me and Star just be playing Fortnite all the time
I know,
together. So
practicing
we're
together,
Yeah.
being the best duo. I'm just here for the vibes, to be honest. Like, I'm just here to crack a joke or two.
And we love that.
Yeah, exactly, you know? Gotta know your
Oh.
place.
Not really complete. Help.
Oh, like, damn, I should have opened that sooner.
What, did you get a Sprite or something?
I got a small shield after drinking a big one because I couldn't find any small ones, and then I opened the chest and immediately found one. It's like, oh, I've been helping 5 minutes ago.
Do either one of you have the 7 Sprite?
I don't know what Sprite. How do I find that? Can I see that in my inventory?
It's the, like,
last
you'll
one,
just
let's
know.
see.
It's a legendary one. I'm asking just because I found one and I already have that one mastered.
Oh, so you're just better, is what you're saying.
Maybe
You're like,
I
I might be a little better.
I mean, I play this every day, so.
Oh, do you actually? Oh my god,
Yeah.
you sound like me for real, cause that used to be me. Star, we should play. You need to get me back into it. I will literally
We
play.
should.
I will play. I'm just gonna start hitting you up and being like, hey, what are you doing?
Please do.
Do you want to play Fortnite?
No one ever plays with me, so I'm like, please.
Oh, is this it? The punk sprite?
No, that's a different one, but if you don't have that one, you can take it.
He's kind of incredible looking, so I'm grabbing him.
I have the 7 Sprite on my back for whoever wants it.
Okay,
I'm leveling it up for you, I guess.
I mean, just keep it until extraction. Do you need one?
Yeah.
Ryan, do you know if you need this one?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm working on the gummy ghost spray.
Okay, bet. So I'll just steal it from
cute.
Star. Say less. When it comes down to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully we
It's
can
all yours.
extract it or something and just steal it from you.
Oh, we should probably move.
Listen, I don't mind helping.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, there are people here. Oh, there are people here.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. We got it.
Where are you? Oh,
Right up
you're
there.
down there.
I went into zone. I think they want the extraction for sure.
Probably.
A Boyo Sprite?
Ooh, that's like a rare one.
I grabbed it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say hurry up, call the extractor, and then we can keep guard you during
Yeah,
it.
they're sitting at the top there. Oh, it's the other one.
Yep. Nope. I see.
I think they were just waiting.
Because one of them has a sniper rifle, and it looks like that he's just looking. Oh no, never mind. I'm just stupid.
What do you mean? Did you see a
Just in
sniper?
case, be careful.
Yeah, no, because that's just the item that was up there.
Oh,
that I was
actually,
seeing.
Start. Can I get the?
Yep.
How do I put this in my inventory? Like
I
off
dropped
my
it
back.
over here. If you're extracting it, then it'll just go off your back for
Oh, okay.
extraction. Because it'll do, I think, what's in your hands first, and then it'll do what's on your back.
All right.
So, yeah.
There you go. I'm just gonna send them all back. How about you all go home where you belong?
Oh,
Bye. See you back home. Oh wait, I forgot I dropped this. Oh, that's not us fighting? Never mind. Don't let me
Nope.
keep going.
They're just up here.
yeah, nope, they're down there. I see them. 2 right there, and then there's 1 in the road.
31 white. Oh, this thing explodes on impact. Excuse me.
Yup.
Oh, but it does like 6 damage.
Oh wait.
Back here, 2 people.
Yep, I'm repositioning real quick.
I don't like this gun. I don't lie.
Broke shield on one. One down.
I couldn't
I got
shoot him
another
for
one.
shit. Guys, don't watch. It's horrible.
What do you mean? You're doing fine. You're doing
I need a
amazing,
different
sweetie.
gun. I really don't like this. Bank shot. The back shot rifle pistol. What do you mean?
the who? What now?
The who? What? Who's doing what to who now? I'm not picking that up. That's forbidden.
Oh, forbidden.
I'm a child of God. Just kidding.
Not that.
Not this. Not like this.
Here, if
The
anyone
big,
wants
the big
this,
reveal.
it's right there.
Rosa, I have a little truck for you full of slurp.
You know, I love a good slurp. Hold up, I'm on my way.
There's a chest in here and I can't find it.
You gotta break this thing that I'm breaking.
Oh, I got it. I made it. There's a little crack.
A little.
Just a little one?
Yeah.
I can go.
Ready?
Yes.
Oh!
Oh, okay. So, okay.
I want a new gun. This gun is scary. I'm so bad with it.
I pointed one out to you and you didn't take
Hi,
it.
CJ. Thank you for the shout out. How are you doing? Thanks for getting your check-in. The way you did the shout out.
Uh-huh.
There's one over here.
Adam.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though I marked a bush, there is a different gun. I'm gonna steal their car.
Okay.
There's a whole other team there, Star. Just FYI.
That's fine. I got the
I
car.
thought I was gonna land.
The car is mine.
Let's go. 107. Behind this tree, there's one last guy.
We don't talk about it.
Let's go.
It's perfect, you know. I did such an amazing job.
Exactly,
Look at-
exactly.
You have
That's-
so many
that's
gun
all.
choices.
I know. I already got. I like the burst. The burst is fun. Oh, look at this guy. Whose is this? Whose little boba guy is this?
That's mine.
He's so
That's my
cute.
guy.
I want him so bad. CJ, how are you doing? Welcome in, CJ. I put up all my VODs. Okay, don't lose your streak now. Oh, back here. Party of 2, 50.
Oh.
250?
Ooh.
They're gonna steal my car. That's right. This is my car.
Dang, this gun is crazy. Oh, I can throw. I'm throwing what?
Yeah.
Okay, this gun kind of eats. Wait. I threw the cartridge and the cartridge in a pear tree.
Oh, they're dead. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, very dead.
Have either one of you played with the new Rift stuff?
What rift stuff?
There's like a new Rift thing where you can get a battle royale through the battle bus.
Ooh. Oh wait, I
Oh,
have seen
yeah.
that. Yeah, we did get that literally the other night. Oh, did you want this?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want it or need it or anything. It's okay. You just snatch it out of my hands. It's okay.
The chug jug?
Oh, you,
You
got
can
my
throw it
favorite
at them and cause
pistol.
damage to. Oh my god, what? I'm doing
Yeah,
good.
and
It's
distracts them
Monday.
too. Yeah.
Are they Oh, they're right down here. I fell off.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh shit. Oh, one of them has a heal thing.
Where'd this guy go? I'm going up the
He went up
star.
the mountain. Yeah, I'm going around.
People
You're chasing
rifting?
me.
I need that rift out of my hands.
Oh, he's jumping down.
Be careful, there's 2 of them up there.
Behind you.
Well,
Ryan,
one of
Ryan.
them up there.
Turret.
Oh, help!
Speaking
Oh,
of
speaking
the
of
battle
battle
bus.
Oh, hell no.
Well, Justin, it's time to clutch it. You got this, Diva.
But where do I go?
It'll mark it on your map and it'll show you where to go.
Oh, I see. I got scared. CJ, how was work? How was work today? How was your weekend? Can I get it even if other people are alive?
Yeah, as long as you're on it before the time runs out, you're good.
You can even sit on the front of it, like on the lip of the bus. And it'll still give it to you.
I'm afraid, because there's definitely a team up there.
Also, if you're able to open the crates, there's a friend barrier, so you can't shoot each other.
I wonder if they see me crouching. Yeah, get him. Get him. Can I get back in time is the question.
You can't trust us.
Yeah.
Ah, to
There's
sneeze.
to the right. Oh, bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Oh!
Oh. Ooh, Justin, get back on. Here you go.
Sit there, you can sit there.
Let's
Yes!
go! Wait.
Oh, you
That
clutched
sneeze,
that.
that sneeze made me lock in. I was like, oh, I can see the vision. GG's. I didn't know we could all win. Do I get an extra umbrella for that?
No, actually.
That sneeze actually cleared everything up. Like, I feel like a different person after that. Hi, CJ. Oh, work was hard. I'm so sorry. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over too. Oh, work wasn't hard. It was good. Sorry, I don't know how to read. Hi, Ali. Welcome in. Thank you for your check-in. How are you? Are we ready? Are you ready for it?
There we go.
CJ, what else do you have planned this week? Oh,
Wait, are we
sorry, you
changing
look
up the vibe?
incredible. Oh wait, yeah, let's change up the vibe. What's the vibe?
I was just like, every time I finish playing around, I'm always like, I want to change my outfit.
No, that's so real. Excuse me. Honestly, I love this skin. Oh wait, we're doing cartoons. Wait, let me do it. I don't even know if I have anybody in that art style, but I'll switch to like cartoon. Little animated character.
Oh, what about the gorillas? You just scroll past them.
Who?
Oh, we could.
Oh,
I don't know if you have gorillas, but we could
I
each
do
be a
have,
different member.
I think I do have the gorillas outfits.
I think I have one of the gorillas. Hold on, let me double check.
I don't know how to spell gorillas.
It's
Yeah, I got them right here. Oh. Who do
So I
wanna
have.
be? Oh, I want to be him. Kind of the vibe, low key. He's just like me for real, a little chunky. Oh, Ryan. Ryan's also him, by the way.
Okay.
Do we have the Power Rangers?
I don't have the
I
Power
don't.
Rangers.
Oh, okay. So this was fun. I hope that y'all have a great day
Let's
today.
just pick a.
We
I
can
just.
all be this guy.
Oh, yep, period.
Yeah, I honestly, let's do it. Y'all got the dogs out. Let's do it. The dogs are out. just my, just work my life, my little life away. No, don't work your life away. Go on vacation. Go on vacation. When's the last time you went on a vacation, CJ? Because I haven't been on a vacation in a minute. Never. CJ, please go. How was my Monday? My Monday was so good. Besides the fact that it wasn't. Hey, hey, hey. CJ, what the fuck? Get your vacation. Yeah, you have to get vacation. I literally haven't been on vacation in years.
Ooh, okay, so everybody's taking a mandatory vacation.
I want to go to Puerto Rico so bad. I want to go so many different places. I want to go home. I miss my mom. I want to go home. I'm like, I want a New York vacation.
No, I feel you. I miss my mom, and she's like, "How about you come for like your grandmother's 80th birthday?" And I'm like, "I don't want to go back to Maryland though."
Oh, that's fair. You're like, but can we do it somewhere else?
Exactly. Can we go to like Hawaii for her 80th?
Yeah, like how about we do a tropical vacation for her 80th birthday? Do you like miss the food and have to go to your spots? Like, honestly, I really just miss my mom. And I feel like a lot has changed in New York in like even the last 4 years that like some of my spots don't even exist anymore, you know?
Oh, can we jump there? I have to go there to complete my map.
Say less. Let's go. I just wish sometimes it's hard to think like how much things have changed and like if I go back it's so different sometimes feeling like I'm back there like oh wow like the city is so different already. Like I left the city right after COVID, so the city was kind of like post-apocalyptic the last time I was there, you know? Like no one was on the train, no one was really outside, you know, life hadn't really sort of bounced back a little, I guess. I know a lot of people haven't really gotten back to normal after COVID, but I think a lot of people tried to like just make things feel better. At least you could probably see Mamdani. Yeah, exactly. Like I missed Mamdani era New York, which is kind of sad. Like I'm missing all that. Just sounds like a good time.
I will say there is another team here.
I see.
Yep.
I have a shield for you, Star, or Ryan, whichever one.
Oh, they shooting. Hold up.
I see that. I see
got it.
that. I'm right here with you guys. Star, that's for you if you need.
Thank you. I'm gonna
Down.
get these people first.
He had a sprite. Fire sprite. I don't want that.
You want the demon sprite?
Is he cute?
He's on my back.
Oh, he's so cute. No, you can have him.
I already have him.
Guys, we're all the same character. I really thought I was following
There you go.
LOL.
He
He is so cute. Me following Ryan the whole time.
Oh.
Good work. Now,
Oh.
What?
let's see what that baby can do to my
Sprite chest over here.
power competition.
Oh.
Sprite chest. Oh, that's what these are. Oh, shock rock. I want that.
And a
I don't know
boss
what that
raid.
means.
I have that one.
I think I have this one. I don't remember. He fell on the floor.
He's sad.
They're so cute. What is a shock rock?
If
Oh!
you...
Oh!
It just...
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Oh! That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So how many jumps do I have?
3.
3 jumps. Oh my god, that was so fun. Oh, boats.
And then
I
if
forgot
you
boats are back.
use it again, because normally it comes with 2, it gives you another 3.
What the heck is this thing? A seal? Why is he all big like that? Justin, a little. Even my little Hallmark town changed so much while I was in Florida. Isn't that crazy? My God, Star, look at you go.
I wanted to see what was over here.
You're just zooming with that rock.
Mm-hmm.
What's this gold thing?
A chest?
No. Shrub bomb. This thing.
Oh!
Oh!
I'm a bush!
It made me
You
a bush
made me a-
too! We're bushes together.
I don't know how to take it off either.
I think we have to start shooting. Oh no, we just have to get shot. Or shockwave will take it off.
Oh,
Actually, I think.
if anybody needs that.
I don't.
He's so cute! I want him.
I feel like this is gonna be a game of us protecting Justin as Justin carries all the sprites.
I want them. They're just so adorable. Oh, more shock rocks? Say less. Sorry, Ali. I feel like a newborn. I'm just like learning all this new stuff.
I've never been over here. This is kind of cool.
Truthfully, the last time I played this, I was like severely hungover. So
Love that.
I feel normal now.
There we go. I got the bush off
Oh, a
of me.
sniper. It's so fun. Is there a sprite that gives you the shock rock effect? Probably, right?
No.
Oh!
Not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of.
Never mind then. Never mind I said anything.
They're still coming out with sprites though, so maybe.
Really? They're still releasing them?
Mm-hmm.
When's the next sprite
Yeah.
drop? Let me know.
I think Thursday.
Oh, is there really? Not me make. I thought. Never mind. Not me thinking there wasn't one. You're like, there is actually a new date. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Well, I know every Saturday, from 2 to 4, there's Sprite Hour where you can find like more of the rare sprites, and then
No
it's
way.
again on Saturday from 9 to 11. So
That's crazy.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
Not a sprite power hour.
Yeah, you gotta play every Saturday.
That's it, Star. Sign me up. Saturday
Yay.
with Star.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna take my Fortnite duo away from me? Got you.
Well, why can't we all play? I think we all can play
Exactly.
Fortnite.
No, I think I'll play with me.
There are people over here.
Who says he's stealing me? Who? I never said yes.
I'm
You know what, that's
leaving.
real,
That's it. You know what? You guys can take over. I'm actually okay. Have fun.
Wait, Justin,
Yes.
are you on the tree?
Yep. I can't shoot the sniper for shit.
Someone shooting you? Or is
No,
that
I
Justin?
found 2 people over here. I sniped one for 125, I think.
Oh, I see one.
Down. Down.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing in this tree. The sniper in Fortnite is hard for me. I cannot lead. No, me neither. And the drop is kind of crazy. Oh. Never mind I did that. Never mind I did that. No one saw that. I'm throwing this sniper away. Anybody want a sniper? I don't want
No,
it.
I'm good.
I don't like the snipers.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Sick of it.
Oh, but Justin,
Yes.
take that.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Justin, you want to get in my boat?
Oh, of course. Who's driving a boat? Who's driving this
Me.
bus? That was so much. Like,
Oh, there's a sprite thing back here. It's a ghost sprite.
oh, I got one of those right now. Why is there a force field around this over here?
It's safe
Oh,
extraction.
that's a friendly
site.
zone.
I was gonna say it's closing in on you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I got too excited. Jenny.
Not as even just in help.
Bye. It's just me and my ghost sprite against the world. And my demon sprite, I guess.
Let's see.
Oh, get out!
They're in the tree.
Where? Oh, I see him. No! I'm so close. I say we run. Oh, there's someone up top too.
Yep, and I'm circling around.
I'm just going right up in there.
Yeah, Star, I'm coming.
Oh, never mind.
Where are you, Star?
I'm just down on the ledge.
I got Star. I don't know what this back shot rifle is doing. Waiting room
Daffy
viewing
Duck- oh, fuck.
activated.
I'm
Are you
gonna
rolled?
die.
Star, can you get him?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are they still up here?
Yeah, one is still up here. I need a heal.
I don't see them. Oh,
It's Eminem. There you go.
got him.
Let's go, team!
I love you,
Oh.
bitch.
Oh, another one's leaving.
Oh!
I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
That was hot. Hold on.
Wait, maybe I should start playing Fortnite again, bruh. Like, that was crazy.
No, for real, you should. And there's,
That
I think it was an air
crazy.
sprite over
Hi,
there.
Ronnie. Ronnie, how's the waiting room? I love you, bitch. Thank you for the resub. Oh shit. It was a gifted. Thank you to Ronnie. There's a chest there.
Rosa.
Oh, they're here. Somebody.
Oh, period. Okay, love that.
Oh, actually, why waste a chug jug?
Wait, actually, did anybody want this before I take
Just
it?
in your health. I know I didn't
No,
have
you
any
can
green
take
health.
it.
Oh yeah, grab it. This is yours. It says your name on it. It says Rosa Toki.
No, it says El Rosa.
Oh, El Rosa Toki. Yeah. Oh, I kind of want this because what is this backshot rifle? I don't like it. I don't like the pistol. Take it.
Not too much on the backshot pistol, you know.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
What happened?
It's cold. I wish I brought a sweater. What are we waiting for, Ronnie? Anything important?
Excuse me while I go into the underground. There's someone
Oh,
down
it's a
here. There's a team down here.
You're
There's someone down here.
joking, friend. I'm so far. Okay.
I'm back, so if they're
actually. I'm
following you, I
actually
got you.
I
Oh,
can-
closer
came
than
back
I
up.
thought.
there's a chest over there. Hold on.
A daddy chest?
What?
Where? Hello.
Oh, fuck.
A
Yeah, they're all
turret. Wait,
here.
I'm gonna grab that turret.
I don't know where they are. I think they're ransacking the house or the place.
They're underground.
Oh, never mind. Then why are we? Let's go. Let's get out of here.
They shot at somebody. Yeah, they're underground. Just wait for Storm. I mean, 13 minutes. I mean, 13 seconds, I mean. Kiddo has therapy, so we wait. Well, that makes sense. I'm glad you got to take the kiddo to therapy.
Help! Okay. There we go.
This is the only way up, guys. Be ready. Oh, I
Oh
lied.
shit. It's not the only way up. It's just the fastest way up. I'm gonna go.
I killed one.
Ooh.
Killed.
They have the turret out.
Oh, I'm down.
One down.
There's one left. One
Hold
left. Oh, a gold fire sprite.
Fuck.
Wait.
They got me.
There's an extraction thing over here. Please.
Justin, you got this. Clutch it.
Oh!
Okay. Oh.
I killed one of them though.
You did great. Hey, we placed third.
Third place.
Yeah.
We kind of ate that up. This is top 2. It's a 2v1? Question mark? 3v1. 2v2? Who knows? Alright, we changing the vibes? How do we feel about that? You did. It was
Yeah.
great.
What's the new vibe?
So we did on Taco Stream before. LOL! I don't know what
Wow,
the new
that's
vibe
pretty
is.
beautiful. Good to know. Good to know.
Writing that down. Writing that down. Should we be furries? I'm just kidding. Oh, yes, Ryan. I love this one. We haven't heard that one in a minute. Fucky Wucky? A little fucko boingo?
Oops, I made a fucky wucky and now I gotta go into the forever box.
The fur ever.
Not the forever box.
Honestly,
Hold on, are we really doing the furry one? I got you.
I wasn't lying. Should I screenshot that and send it to Taco? A Google Doc is crazy, but it was a Taco. A Google Doc? He has a Google Doc? Yeah, he does. Ryan has a list. It's called Ryan Shit
I need to
List.
go nuclear. I'm never going down by myself. I just want y'all to know that.
He just has all the secrets locked up. Okay, I have a gold water spray.
Yeah.
I have a gold earth spray. I have a little boyo spray from that one game. I have a king sprite, an air sprite. I don't really have a lot, huh? I really have nothing. I lost my gold sprite. What do you mean? What do you mean? I literally took a song off of Ryan. My name should not be on a Google Doc.
You know, that's real. That's real. Ronnie can't go on the Google Doc. She
What
did
song was
remove
it? Was it Apata?
It was Apata.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ronnie's a weird one because I'll just put that song on repeat.
That's crazy. So you hate me. I think, what was it? I think Ronnie said one time she
Sharky
ran
music.
across rooms to turn it off, and
I'm
I was just
dead.
like, no.
Hey, 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 hey.
You're missing us over here.
Oh, there was another dance party happening?
Mm-hmm.
Knock down her children to skip it. Damn, pushing your kids down on the ground to skip a song is crazy.
Yeah, Ronnie gets like 3 passes on the Google Doc for that.
I don't know what I picked, but I picked something.
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
Were we not? We were kind of just over here, huh?
We were further.
The map is upside down.
It's upside down.
Like in the last match, I think Cluster Coast was on the north side of the map. Am I crazy?
Oh,
Right.
the bus switches the
I was like,
direction
did I just
it
make
goes
that
to.
up? Did I just
No,
make
but
that up in my head? Like the map
it's
is
in
so
the
different.
upside down.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is it? What is the theory for Stranger Things? Where they're like, episode 9 is real, it's gonna come out.
Oh!
Snatch.
Conditioned
You
to
can
skip
have
that
it.
song in my car. Now Ronnie's traumatized to skip that song now whenever she hears it.
I know, and I feel bad. No, don't be...
That's such an evil laugh. I'm scared.
Wait.
Who, my laugh?
Yes!
I gotta keep you guessing. Gotta keep you on their toes. You'll never know if I'm evil. I really jumped through this window to hear the glass shatter, and there was no glass. So I'm gonna go home now. I don't belong here.
Oh.
Oh, another shrub bomb. Look at that.
I really love those
Then-
things.
I found slurp canisters if anybody needs them. One sec.
Yeah, I can... Where are they? Oh. Thank you.
A gold? You know what? When life gives you lemons. Oh, I got a key!
Bag.
The key, a vault key.
You're good. I found a slurp thing right outside the door.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, and a Sprite chest. Nola heard stream and said, "Who's playing Fortnite?" I know. My ghost spray and I are reunited. Come back here, buddy. Let's go home. Oh, stars just flying in the sky.
Ah!
That was good. That was good. You got me. That was good.
Look at it.
Up now. You fishing?
I'm trying to.
How do I know where the vault is? Oh, I see it now. It's right here. What was I waiting for? In the vault I go. Purple SMG. Oh, a Vinny Jr. sprite. Sprinting for a short time makes your slide destructive. Slide kicking enemies increases rate of fire and reload speed. Oh, wow.
Sorry, I just keep sneezing, so that's why I keep muting.
Well, bless you. You know, last time I sneezed,
Thank you.
I logged in and I won.
Oh.
So maybe that is the
No, that's
sign.
true.
Wow.
Oh, you're saying I need to log in. You're saying that I'm flopping.
No,
Got you,
I'm saying that you'll lock in now that you sneezed. You're a different person now.
You're
You know?
just like, wow.
Harpoon gun? You're just like, wow, I cannot believe you even said
I'm just so speechless.
I just can't believe it. Like, I can't. There's no
I
belief.
have no words.
No belief. No
Like,
words.
I'm just over here trying to do my best, and you're telling me to lock in. Like, that's crazy.
Okay, the fact we haven't like seen anyone to me. is
Like, that's kind
Oh,
of
no,
scary.
literally.
I'm a little scared.
A little scared.
Just a little.
Is there a extraction?
There is a.
You know, it's one of those things where I could either stick with the voice crack or try to clear my throat before it happens. The extraction, is it close? Oh, none of them are. We're like in the middle of all of them, huh?
There's one near. I guess
There-
the closest one would be this one.
Alright, let's go there. Whee! Lock in while you sneeze. No, literally.
You need the king sprite.
No, I have the king sprite if I remember correctly.
Okay, cool.
I got the Vinny Jr. sprite. I guess it's a rare sprite. Is that an icon series sprite?
It's a mythic. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Oh,
is.
there are people over here. Not the mid kid.
Oh, I see.
They just
Down.
stood there and took that.
Down. Let's go. I'm gonna put Vinny Jr. away before I lose him.
I would. Don't forget, you can also get your your portable extractor.
Wait,
You
where's
You get a free
that?
one every day. So if you go up to this little box right here, there's a portable extractor that you can get every day. You get a free
just
one
a
every
day. Got it.
Mhm. So I always
Is
get
it
one
an
and have it on
inventory
me.
slot?
No. So it's where you get your weapon.
Hi,
You would just
Baker.
hold the Y button or
Okay.
whatever button it is
Sure,
on
sure.
PlayStation, and that's how you can use it.
Okay.
I would get it just in case you're in that situation where you're like running for your life and you're like, my sprite!
It says it's out of stock.
Oh, you must have already grabbed one then.
I guess so. I must have.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess it's not free. It costs like the
Stardust.
sprite dust, yeah.
Oh.
But I consider it free just because it's like not a whole lot.
Hi, Pancake. How are you doing? It's free. Oh my God, no. No, it calls Stardust. You have to crop dust.
Oh,
Put
we
the
got
pooping
a
tater.
drop dust.
Crop dust. We got another key? People here! People here! People here! I got scared real quick. What's this? Quack snacks? What the f is that?
Help start. So I'm so sorry. I did not mean to get in the way of you like that.
No, you're good.
Oh, Ashley.
Car coming?
There's a car.
We should just, we can keep this building. Oh, right up here. They're out of the car now. Do you have nuts next to your name? Nuts?
Whoa.
Nuts? Oh, I see
Okay,
them.
one
I
has a
see them.
sniper.
Yep, I see. Is it a Peter Griffin? Right up here, yep.
There's a team coming from this side.
Yep. There are two of them coming from this side.
It might be worth just running.
Yep, I'm going.
Run. We'll meet up.
Oh, there's another person over that hill.
Shit.
Ooh! Oh, your boy is hurt. Your boy is hurt. Your boy. Oh, I'm dead. Everybody looking at me. I'm coming.
I'm running. I'm running. I'm running.
What
I'm
nut?
going. I'm braving
Get
the
those
storm.
nuts away from my face.
You got the start. I believe in you.
Taco was like, I have 100k dust, ooh, and I was like, I have 2k. I don't even know how much dust I have. Do you have nuts next to your name? Go get that snack, Justin. What do quack snacks do? That's a Pokeball. You have nuts. I'm so confused. Oh, the badge. Wait, does the badge look like nuts? Please be serious. I'm scared. Everyone looking at me. I'm confused.
You're gonna have to fly out of the storm.
Oh, okay. I'm locked in. I'm here. I might grab some of this stuff before I do that. I'll self-revive. Say less. Okay. They're all fighting up there. That's crazy.
Justin literally pushing me down. That's crazy.
Pushing you down?
Yeah, no, you landed right on top of my head.
No way. I'm sorry.
I need a med kit or something.
Oh, I have bandages. Hi, Charlie. What's up? Cutie, what's up? You thought the Pokeball was a nut? Wow. The quack snack gives you health and levels up your Sprite. It gives me health? Why didn't I pick up the quack snacks?
You didn't know.
I didn't know. You're right. Thanks, Star. That means a lot. Wait, but this water Sprite heals me in the water.
It gives you shield.
Okay, here. Wait, Star, do you still need this?
Yeah, I'll take some.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Swimming.
Oh, blue's chest over here.
I
Oh,
have
chug
this.
jug.
Wait, let's grab these canisters here. The three of us. All those in tears.
Hold on.
What is this? This is the new DVD update. Yep, it is.
Yep.
Here's my skin.
Wait, Justin, come back real quick.
This is what you meant to give me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And fill up the rest of your shields.
Did you want it back? Or no?
Oh, my gun!
Please.
I'm a thief.
An absolute thief. There is...
Charlie, how are you doing today? How was your day at work? What were you up to today? I know.
There's like 2 other teams besides us.
2 other teams?
And like
Wait, is there
one
any
person.
Give me a sec.
I don't think there's a new DVD update.
Okay, no, we're good.
Guys?
Yeah.
This chest won't open. Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard it. It
Oh,
did
shit.
open in my screen.
I can't be alone.
Yeah. We're all kind of spread out.
I was like, ooh, there's a lot of people here. Let me just...
I don't have any ammo is kind of the problem.
The Batmobile. I'm snagging it. I'm gonna get it.
Are you? I'm in the sky.
Yeah.
2 people flying.
What the hell? That was wild. Literally waiting in the storm.
Hello.
Get him.
Ryan!
Okay. Rifle. Oh god. Ah, they're in the trees. Run.
Oh, I have a sulfur 5. No! He's not clocking in. You have to sing to that one, babes. You didn't read the patch notes. What patch notes? What patch notes? GG's, guys. It's a wrap on the furries in Fortnite.
Okay, what's the new theme then?
I don't know. You're like, I'm stressed. Stop. Like, go back to lobby. Okay, let's read the patch notes, guys. Apparently, it's a big update that I updated. What patch notes? Daily shop refresh. Should we do what?
Should we do pop stars?
We can.
Yeah, let's do it. I think I only literally have Arianka.
Who are you gonna
Ariani?
be, Rosa?
Huh?
Who are you gonna be?
Oh, wait. For Charlie?
I'll be
Okay, wait.
Hatsune.
What skin do you want me to be then, Charlie?
Okay.
This fucking guy. I'm sorry. What? I've never used that redeem in my life. I redeemed this for Charlie. Okay, Charlie, what should I be? Midas? Do you want me to be Midas? Is that happening? It's happening. Sorry, guys. I have to skip the Popstar Diva and become Midas for like 5 seconds. Not as yelling at me. My chat's always yelling at me. Damn. God.
We can do Popstar next round.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I'm so down. Is
Oh,
Uma
well, I
Thurman
might
a
not be
Popstar?
because I'm gonna run after this one.
Oh, so you hate H8 me.
Well,
That
never
face.
that.
All right. Original Midas, third one. Original Midas, even though Cowboy Midas is the sexy one? Okay. Whatever you say, Charlie. I have all gold. Should I be all gold? I'll be him because he matches my shoes. White. Oh. Fitting. No shoes! Get the shoes. Get the shoes.
Oh,
So you
not
want
the
toes,
grippers,
the
though.
toes out. Those pointy ass shoes. He hates me. Business Midas. He said, now go conduct business. Is that Miss Chappelle?
It is.
This is the only Midas I don't have. You have... Oh, because you have the you don't have the OG Midas? You cry a lot about it, actually. Go buy someone's account and change your name. Just go buy some streamer's account. Started the season after. Damn, Charlie, I've been playing Fortnite since, well, I haven't been playing Fortnite, but I started playing Fortnite like back into this day, like 2018.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like an OG player, like literally like chapter 1, season 5, I think was like the first. I saw you have drift. Yeah, I have a lot of oldies, some OG skins. Guys, Midas is so hot. Like look at his little butt. It's so little. I think I'm the same. You think you have a little butt? Like Midas? Nah, no way. Don't make fun of his little butt. He has a little tiny
Wait, who are we
tushy.
making fun of? Who's got a little butt?
Midas. Got a little tiny butt. Team Ronnie's
Okay.
butt. She got a dump truck. I feel like Ronnie does not have a little butt. Oh my god, no. Oh, what do you mean same? Oh, like Fortnite starting Fortnite? Chapter 1? Ronnie is bragging on
guys?
wagon. Oh.
Been to the Batcave?
Yes.
Is the Batcave's here?
Yeah.
Let's
That
do
Wonky
it.
Land.
Oh, I actually like Wonky Land. I love that Wonky Land has stood the test of time. Look at that. I'm crying. Ronnie got that dumpy. What you mean?
I think a team's landing behind us too.
Oh,
so
I
be
think
careful.
more than a team. More than a team. It's like a family.
Oh my
there's,
god!
like,
Yeah, there's multiple
5.
teams.
It looks like a collection. Picked up the ammo, but
Oh.
not the gun. Thank you.
I'm running.
Is it cluster?
I'm in
Cluster?
the-
Cluster? It is a cluster grenade. This makes me want to
I
play
found the
reload. Like
You
reload.
found the bat
build.
cave?
Oh, did you?
Yup.
Are you in the bat cave?
I'm on my way. I'm taking a weird way to it.
I don't know how to get to the bat cave.
You can either go through Wonky Land, or if you go behind Wonky Land on the beach, there's an entrance. It's kind of off to the side.
That was a lot.
That was a
For
lot?
For a chest. Sorry. I had to finish my sentence. There was a chest in a cannon, and I was like, why do I have to light this fuse? And then I have to go fetch the items after it shoots out the chest.
Well, yeah.
Like, ah. And now what if I die? Oh, like right now!
Oh,
Should've
can we
gone
not
to the
die?
back cave.
Where are we? Justin, where are you?
Getting splashed by an enemy?
Your little boba guy just scared me.
He's
Was like, what is that?
the newest Fortnite killer.
Gonna have to loop him.
Please.
Okay, I'm right above you guys. Is this how I get in?
There's the way that I got down was like there was like a little zip line thing that took me down.
And my buddy the ghost sprite. We'll never be apart. My little guy. I'm thinking I'm at the wrong place. Don't run up on me, ho!
Oh, Justin, don't end them like this.
Oh, he's almost dead. He's grabbing me. Help me! Help me! I'm just a boy.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm gonna
He's
help.
literally holding me.
Wait, I have no idea where to go. Is it this way?
Oh, I see where the zip
Okay.
line is now. That was so quick.
Oh! Wouldn't go up there. They're literally
Yeah.
waiting right there.
I got scared. That guy ran up on me. I had to kill him. I would say just, you know, maybe go here. Just buy us.
Just buy us.
Yeah, just buy us back.
I don't
Wow.
think you have enough.
Isn't it 500 or did they make it big, like more?
Oh.
Okay, great. I got scared. I was like, they increased it.
Not y'all worrying about my pockets. That's crazy.
I thought you had enough money. I looked away for 1 second. What happened? Well, I'm Midas. That's what
Listen, I
happened.
have not been playing Fortnite that long.
When did you start
I
playing
don't know.
Fortnite? Oh, actually, you
Last
kind of did tell
season?
me. Yeah, you told me you just started playing Fortnite. Like, when you did.
Yeah, because not that I was like boycotting it, but I was like boycotting it forever because I was like, ugh, I can't have another game where I spend money. And then finally, like, so many people kept asking me, and I was like, fine, I'll
And
play.
here we go.
And then I fell in love.
Yeah. It is a
Like,
lot of
well-
fun when you have the right friends to play with.
Exactly.
The back shots rifle in my pockets. Everyone always gives in. Fortnite is only fun with friends. Yeah, like I don't think I would ever. I literally will play this when people ask. I don't think I could play alone.
We good to go?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sending a text message. Okay, so when did that rock jump in front of me?
I was gonna
That's
say, who
crazy.
put that tree there?
Like, that rock is crazy.
Ronnie convinced me to download Fortnite and then didn't play with me, so I played with Dia, and that's how I became besties. Oh, LOL, Ronnie. Hey, you should download Fortnite. Never plays Fortnite. Do you think there's loot here that we can get?
Well, yes, let's go find out.
Oh, nope, doors are open. Oh, there's somebody here. Literally. Fishing every day. That's his name.
Is he stuck?
I think he will. Oh, what was that? Oh, he stole the Batmobile.
Who stole the Batmobile?
The Batmobile.
Because it wasn't down there, so now we got it. Period.
Oh, I forgot he changes the guns golds.
Ooh, if y'all... Oh, wait. Actually, Justin, come here. Oh, well, actually, all of us can come here.
Where are you? I see Star. Oh, I see you now.
I just pinged it. Yep. Yep. Star, you scared me.
Why?
Because I thought that you were just somebody who just landed. I was like, oh.
Give me shit when I told them I played Fortnite. Now everybody plays. Oh! I played all during COVID. Like, literally, this is my game during COVID.
Help me! Help me! I was not ready for that.
I knocked this guy in Storm.
This John Wick just killed himself. Alright.
Good. I mean, oh no!
And I still get excited to play with you. Taco and Ronnie were so excited. Aww. Gold plated. I wish he just changed the weapons gold. I know. What if they all just got to gold weapons instead?
Oh, it's a two-seater.
That's the team that killed us before. Off in the distance. What?
Oh, Justin.
Okay.
I just made it up. Oh, what? Okay. We're falling in style. That's what it's giving. When they're in the RC.
CP spray?
Oh,
so you didn't.
If you needed that, you could take it because
I'll
see if I can find another one. Oh wait, actually,
no, you have it. You need it more than I do.
Give me a sec.
I'll take it. What is it? Just kidding.
It's none of your business.
I did the wrong one. Ooh.
A dream spike?
You can have it.
Wait, is this what y'all are fighting about?
No.
Oh.
Because I found a water spray.
We were fighting over the shield. Someone's landing here.
There's
Two people are landing here.
If you want it.
Oh, there's someone crawling up.
They just flew over us. They just ran past us.
They're going into they're going into the town.
Okay.
Let's go. Star with the ears of gold, because I didn't hear nobody. Oh, I see this guy shooting at Ryan.
Where is he?
Down here.
Oh, I see.
Nice. Ryan.
Anyway. Oh.
Oh, he's white.
What?
He's I got him down to flesh, like whited damage.
I was trying to figure out where you guys were and he ran up.
I was here. I was up on the roof watching you.
Oh, so you didn't even say like, hey, over here?
I didn't. I turned around and then I just hear you get shot at. And I was like, oh shit! I like stopped looking at him for 5 seconds.
I'm stealing this reboot, man.
Do it. Do it.
Not the evil do it, help.
Do you have enough to...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was like, I don't.
You can't just call people white. Well, if the shoe fits, it was invincible.
Okay.
I guess he's halfway.
So we gotta go. There's a thing over here if we want to try to make it over there.
Oh my god, Gerbil with the raid! Welcome in, my friend! How are you? I'm gonna follow you, Star. Wherever you go, I'll go. How y'all doing? Oh, I can't get sick of that raid alert. More golds.
I guess I'll take the back
Gerbil,
shot.
how are you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? I'm doing so well. Playing Fortnite. We're back to the roots, Gerbil. This is how Gerbil met me. Just playing Fortnite. Me and my Fortnite friends. It's like nothing's ever changed, Gerbil. I forgot to copy my own command. I love it. Gerbil, any command is okay. How have you been, my friend? Fortnite kicked my teeth in for 3 hours. Oh, well, I heard you're into that. Over here by gas station, they just killed some folks. I guess you guys are not that close to me.
No, we lift, honey.
Okay, you're not that far.
We're so far, like...
We're beyond far.
You can't even reach us.
Who told you I didn't pay them enough for their silence?
Somebody's running up the hill.
Excuse me. We're running up that hill.
They're on the reboot van.
Oh, I'm a riff with this little guy. Oh, let's go to zone, I guess. Like, why am I going toward that guy?
Oh, I don't know. I'm also doing the same thing.
I'm gonna try to get up here. That's not in zone.
Whoa, that's so far.
I guess over here. By this busted reboot van.
Oh, there's someone near me.
I'm doing so well, friend. Life has definitely like turned around for the better, and stream has had a lot to do with that. I honestly believe that. Like, I think I have a lot of people in my corner. I need to shove some dinner in your face. Oh my god, I heard you're into that too. Enjoy your din din. I hope you enjoy your food. Yes, thank you so much, my friend. I'm so happy you're here and raiding. Hopefully we're probably not live for too long, but I hope you can come around soon and hang out. I'm all about food in my face. Yes, exactly. I heard that. I knew that was true. Oh.
Just so you know, there is 2 other teams besides us.
Yup, and they're here.
Oh. I wanted to pick that up, but... Where are they shooting from? Oh, behind you.
I don't know. Oh, they're shooting. Here. Yeah. We gotta move. The thing's about to move closer to us.
Oh my gosh, my hero.
I'm gonna bring you right there.
Shit, 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 shit.
I was like, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Ooh, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
They're all on this side, guys.
One rifted out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pull ahead closer to the zone. There's a guy
I would.
under this. Like walking under there.
So he's probably gonna come out over here.
Yeah.
And I'll be ready.
It's the last guy. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, right behind me. Behind this tree.
That's where they are?
Yep. Not the last guy. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, it's so we could pick up his sprite if we needed to. Let's go! That was for the raid.
Yes.
Period, period, period. We love it, we love it.
For Ryan's last game. Actually, it's my last game. I just realized it's 7. I need to go get dinner.
No.
I'm sorry, sorry. But
No,
I
it's
will
okay.
definitely write to you more often to be like, hey, do you want to play?
Yes, please do.
Do you want to play anything? DBD, Fortnite, Overwatch? Honestly, Overwatch 2. We could totally play some Overwatch.
Yes, I'm down for any of them.
I love that. Jam, thanks for being here. Oh, those are so cute together. I've never seen them side by side. I guess that's on purpose.
Well, I gotta flip out. So
Yeah,
you
bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. All right, y'all. This was a lot of fun. I love when I get to play with friends. And it was great playing some Fortnite. Like, honestly. Yeah, we're gonna go get some dinner. It's 7 p.m. I think Ryan's literally about to start streaming. So we're just gonna raid out to Ryan, and then I'll be back. I'll probably be hanging out with Ryan tonight. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for all for being here. This was so much fun. Honestly, you guys turned out for Fortnite. That was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll definitely be having Fortnite nights on stream again. Guys, who wants to play Reload? I have drinking game rules. Like we could do Fortnite drinking games. Like I think that'd be so much fun. I honestly think Ryan's getting ready to start stream, but I ordered food I have to go pick up, so drinking games. Yeah, Fortnite drinking games. Ronnie, I have rules for like a Fortnite Reload drinking night. If you're down to play that, like I would be so down if you wanted to. For anybody who wanted to do that. There's Ryan. Okay, Ryan's live. Let's do it. I know he's here. If you hear me clap once. Send me your rules. I will for Reload. I will. Guys, let's go hang out with Ryan. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. This was fun to do a Monday stream. We'll be back on Friday. Stream schedule announcement later tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, let's go hang out with Ryan. On this fine Monday. Another friend of the friend of the friend. And I'll see you guys on Friday. I hope everybody has the best week. Thanks so much for being here. Stream is literally only fun when you guys are here, and so I really appreciate when you spend some time with me. Like you literally could be doing anything else and you chose to hang out with me, and that's all I could ask for. I love you all so much, and everybody be safe. Have a great week, and don't let the bed bugs bite. Until next time, my friends. Bye bye. Hold on, let me copy this raid message, and then bye bye.